Praised be Jesus and Mary. Saint Francis Xavier Cabrini was the first United States citizen to be canonized. Not the first native born, but nonetheless, she holds that honor of being the first citizen canonized. She was the foundress of the Missionary Sisters of the Sacred Heart, patroness of immigrants. She was born in Lombardy, Italy, the youngest of 13 children, and she was on fire with a desire to be a missionary, which was fueled through the family reading of the annals of the propagation of the faith. And even as a young girl, she gave up sweets. She had a desire to go to China, and she knew that she wouldn't be able to get sweets in China. So she earned a teacher's degree, a certificate, and applied to 2 different orders having missionary houses. But she was rejected for reasons of health. And reluctantly, at the request of her bishop, she tried to save an orphanage and make its staff a religious community. But after 6 years of hard work, it didn't go anywhere. And so at that time she was 30 years old and began her own missionary community with 7 associates from the orphanage. And Bishop Scalabrini suggested that they work with Italian immigrants, especially in the United States. He had founded another congregation of the Congregation of St. Charles for that kind of work. But Mother Cabrini's heart was set on China. So she went to the Holy Father, Pope Leo XIII, and he told her, "Go not to the east, but to the west." So she did. And she founded schools and hospitals, charitable works of every kind. She would eventually cross the ocean 30 times, bringing young Italian sisters to North and South America. And her amusing community letter during her second trip to New York gives a typical picture of these missionary voyages. She wrote, "This morning, all the sisters woke up very ill. Some of them thought they were going to die. Those who trusted my words rose and tried to eat, and presently were looking quite well. The others, who thought death was at hand, stayed in their rooms awaiting it." They've got quite a few of her letters preserved, and they're filled with practical motherly instruction of a foundress who knew she was loved and imitated by her sisters. So she took advantage of that. And she wrote, "When you are corrected, do not justify yourself. Remain silent and practice virtue, whether you are right or wrong. Otherwise, you may dream of perfection but never attain it. In another letter she wrote, "Love is not loved, my daughters. Love is not loved." And there's been more than one saint with that same lament. She said, "Renounce yourself entirely if you wish to enjoy peace. She who is not holy will make no one holy." And one day, the sisters were wanting her to accompany them on a boat excursion. And she wrote that, "I admit my weakness. I'm afraid of the sea," that sea which she crossed 30 times. And she said, "If there's no very holy motive in view, I have no courage to go where I fear danger, unless sent by obedience. For then, of course, one's movements are blessed by God." So just some words of Mother Cabrini to ponder today. She died at 67 years of age, suddenly and alone, in one of her Chicago hospitals while she was preparing Christmas presents for 500 children. So we pray today to Mother Cabrini for that same charity, that same missionary zeal.